can make it true tonight with a little bit of love for a Zambuca.
I don't want to play ping pong.
All the ones and the twos.
Welcome to Cookies and Cream in a Scala. No hats, no trainers. Ladies free before 9.
Emergency broadcast number 18. Can you believe we've made it this far? How on earth have we made it this far? We've got to be quick this week because I promised my dad that I go fishing with him on Wednesday. We're running out of time in the week already, so we've got to rattle through it. What are we talking about this week? Hugh. Well, Hugh, we're talking about anniversary throwbacks.
Oh, this is what we're doing now?
I've got a whole PowerPoint. You've got a piece of paper.
I still know what the title is. You could have thrown me the title at least.
If I threw that to you, you'd be like,
that happened one time.
What are we talking about this week? Chris.
We're talking about throwbacks, namely 2009 season, but also others.
We're talking about ugly, ugly clothes, basically. We're talking about 2009, the AF... It's Kirk Cousins. What's he doing here?
Nothing in this league is free!
2009, AFL Throwbacks. It was the 50th season for the 8 original AFL teams, and they wore AFL Throwbacks during 16 anniversary games, with this tasty little patch featured here on Eric Berry.
The anniversary season of the AFL continues, and we've got the originals. They played the first game ever in AFL history, the Patriots and the Broncos.
11 of the games were matchups between AFL teams, and as Chris so politely reminded me this morning, the Dallas Cowboys were also in throwbacks because
they had,
excuse us.
Dallas Cowboys were also celebrating an anniversary. They were celebrating the anniversary of Kansas getting the hell out of Dallas, baby.
The Dallas Texans. The Kansas City...
Are you going to do it anymore? This is one of the least listened to shows on the internet, sir.
This is one of those tragically underviewed shows on the internet. The AFL was born in 1960 with 8 original teams. We're talking the Buffalo Bills, the Denver Broncos, the Dallas Texans, who were the Kansas City Chiefs in disguise, the Boston Patriots, see if you can figure out who they are, the Titans of New York, the New York Jets, featured here in Brett Favre, the Oakland Raiders, the San Diego Chargers, and the Houston Oilers, who of course became the Tennessee Titans.
R.I.P.
The AFL merged with the NFL in 1970, and so 2009, 50 years of the 8 original AFL teams, which meant they were allowed to wear ugly, ugly uniforms.
The NFL basically said, check it out, it's non-uniform day, guys. You've done so well that you can come in and choose what to wear.
Coming in hot with the ugliest uniform anyone has ever worn to any job, including UPS deliverymen, because that's exactly what they look like.
The Denver Broncos represented on non-uniform day that one kid that forgot it was non-uniform day, so turned his blazer inside out to make like a satin jacket and picked up some things from lost property.
So stupid. So the Denver Broncos had yellow jerseys, brown shorts, and striped socks. Would you like some mustard with your chocolates? Denver's first general manager, Dean Griffin, purchased the team's original uniforms from a defunct college all-star game called the Copper Bowl. So all the uniforms were just copper. I think he bought both teams and just matched the most ugly thing he could make out of it. He had a yellow team and a brown team, and he went, let's have both.
This year, they actually let a horse design the uniforms.
Original manager John Bronco, who was a horse, having purchased the team with the money he won from the Kentucky Derby.
If you don't follow us on YouTube and Instagram, I'm talking multi-platform follow.
Should we get them up? Come on the show. They wore vertically striped socks, which Dean Griffin thought would make the players look taller.
Nice.
And he bought them on the cheap from a surplus sports store. Denver quarterback Frank Tripucka said, I used to cut the armpits of the jersey so I could actually raise my arms to pass. They were like sacks. In 1962, Denver hired a new head coach with the advertising slogan, there's something new in Denver, including the uniforms, which they got rid of after 2 years, and they went to the classic orange and blue Orange Crush and left those ugly, ugly uniforms behind. The Boston Patriots, the New England Patriots, featured here in Rodney Harrison. In 1961, they had Pat Patriot on the helmet. So the coolest thing about this throwback is the helmets. You got Pat Patriot, but ironically, not the original design. There's so much information about these AFL throwbacks because in the original AFL, the world was just a lot smaller. So when someone started an NFL team, they were like, let's put a call out to see who wants to name the team. And at that point, the populace weren't so they weren't like Patriot McPatriot face. They actually gave like decent names. Pat Patriot was designed by the Boston Globe cartoonist at the time, and they chose that the year after they took their original logo from a fan call out, and they said, can you design us a logo? And so this guy puts pen to paper, spends a long time on it, you know how artists do, and he made a tricorn hat. And they went, yeah, let's use that. And then the Boston Globe guy turned up and went, how about this? And they scratched it off the helmets and put Pat Patriot on the helmets. Instead of buying new helmets, they were like, let's just get rid of the ugly tricorn hat by scratching it off with our fingernails and put Pat Patriot on it. Do you know what the new Patriots guy is called on the side of the helmets?
Pat Patriot?
No.
That would be exactly the same name as the old
Yeah,
one.
no, I thought it was a trick question. I thought you were going to fling a tricky at me early on.
It's called the Flying Elvis.
Sure. That was my second guess.
You'll take it.
That year in week 6, New England quarterback, or Boston quarterback, Tom Brady threw for a record-setting 5 touchdowns in the second quarter of a game, beating Tennessee Titans.
There we go. Who are the Houston Oilers? What a segue.
Thank you.
Houston Oilers.
Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers #1.
Obviously, everyone knows who the Houston Oilers are. They're the pride of the NFL, or were the pride of the NFL until they got kicked out. R.I.P. So, original owner, Bud Adams.
Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers, Houston Oilers #1.
Hello, young man. What would you like for Christmas?
Bud Adams made all his money on, you guessed it, oil. He made his money from oil, and that's why they have an oil derrick on the helmets and the sweet Columbia blue. I'll just put up some cool Houston Oilers pictures because bing, 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 because they're sweet as hell. Bing.
It behooves us in 2009 to mention one player on the Tennessee Titans team. CJ2K became the 6th player to rush for over 2,000 yards that season, and also broke Marshall Faulk's all-purpose yardage record, worth a small mention. Also, in fact, the Tennessee Titans that year started by losing 6 games on the bounce with Vince Young as a second-year quarter, but then went on to win 5 games on the bounce, being the only NFL team to do so. Niche facts.
Interestingly, Houston Oilers and the Dallas Texans, who we're going to talk about now. Who are the Dallas Texans? The Kansas City Chiefs in disguise. So, owner, Lamar Hunt.
Lamar Hunt, not of Hunt's Ketchup, which I looked into because Patrick Mahomes obviously now sponsored them, and I thought that would be crazy.
So owner Lamar Hunt started his franchise in the AFL, full well knowing the Dallas Cowboys of the NFL were in the same city. So we had the Dallas Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Texans couldn't draw as many fans, and so Lamar Hunt said, I want to put this team somewhere in the vicinity of my home in Dallas.
So originally he wanted to go for, down in Louisiana, he wanted to go for, I think it was Tulane University, but they were like, no, we don't want an NFL team competing with our excellent college
Tulane
program.
Green Wave, one of my favorite. Like, what? Why? It's a landlocked city.
Because one day that green wave will rise and kill everyone in Louisiana when the sea levels shoot up.
All hail the Green Wave. So, Dallas Texans, Lamar Hunt moves the team to Kansas City. Unheard of. And what does he want? He wants the main color to be Columbia blue. But obviously, Bud Adams has taken that for the Oilers. So he has to settle for this sweet red and yellow colorway. And arguably, one of the nicest colorways in the league, I'd say.
Then they went on to be really successful, Kansas, actually. I don't think it was entirely due to their uniform being nice, but they went on to be...
But you can't rule it out.
You can't rule it out. That was the reason that they went to the first ever Super Bowl, was that patch.
And they have a sweet, sweet Texas logo on their helmets, which I think they should have kept. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, Dallas Texans done. Oakland Raiders. They're around in 1960, but they're not called the Raiders. It's another fan call-out competition. What should we call the team?
I remember, was it like the Seniors?
The Oakland Seniors. To commemorate the original Spanish settlers of Northern California, the Oakland Seniors. What were they thinking? I mean, they put someone said, how about the Oakland Seniors? And they went, yeah, go on then. And then the entire city went, no! One of the main reasons they didn't pick the Seniors because the local newspaper said, we actually don't have the N.
Enya.
We don't have the Enya in our typeface, so if we ever write about you, we can't put it in. And they went, okay.
It would just be the Oakland Seniors.
Yeah, the Oakland Seniors.
The oldest team of all time.
Unilaterally, the city says no to senor, and so they go back to the drawing board.
No, senor!
Yeah. Comment no senor underneath this video.
Or si, senor, if you like it.
Yeah, okay, everybody watches. This is going to be a secret society. society, okay? Everyone who watches the emergency broadcast, if you like a post, comment "Si Senor" underneath it. If you don't like a post, say "No Senor" underneath it. And everyone else can like it, and we can have our own secret club. Because everyone who doesn't watch the emergency broadcast doesn't deserve to be in the club.
And keep commenting on posts, by the way, because that's great. It really helps us.
Yeah, it
move
does
up
help
in
us out.
algorithm.
And share the emergency broadcast. That's the only way this is going to get big, and we're going to take over NFL UK. Yeah, baby, we're going to do it. I know you're watching this, NFL UK. You watch all our stories, you watch all our stuff, but you won't work with us.
I don't know what I'm about to go to.
Oakland Seniors. They go back to the drawing board. The other two names are Raiders and Lakers. And since there's already a California team named the Lakers, they take the Raiders. The New York Titans, later to become the New York Jets. Why were they called the New York Titans? That's a fantastic question at the back, and I'll answer it right now. They called themselves the New York Titans because the owner thought the only thing bigger than a giant is a Titan. Of course, the New York Giants of the NFL at that time.
Bad year for the Jets because obviously Mr. Right here was no longer playing for them. He had retired from football, only to unretire later that year with his previous division rivals, the Minnesota Vikings.
Why do we have this?
Well, they had that jersey. They had it the year before and the year before. It was their third alternate.
Oh, I see. Okay, because it was Mark Sanchez at the helm. Who was at the helm of the Oakland Seniors? Jamarcus Russell.
Is McFadden behind center, the play action. Out of time. Oh, and it's intercepted.
New York Titans were run into the ground financially, and the team required a $40,000 bailout from the rest of the league to survive the 1962 season.
So just to be clear, Jets are the Titans are the Oilers, the Chiefs are the Texans,
And the Raiders are the Seniors. Welcome to the AFL merger, ladies and gentlemen. No wonder they put it all together. It makes
You keeping up?
Literally no sense. Sonny Werblin purchased the Jets in 1963, moved them to Shea Stadium where the Mets play, and renamed the team the Jets, and made their colourway green because he was born on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, that's good. That's a good fact.
Yeah, random facts. The San Diego Chargers, originally an LA team, and then they moved to San Diego where they would stay until the owner, Dean Spanos, decided to piss off the entirety of San Diego and LA simultaneously, thereby giving them 0 fans. How did they get the team name?
It was a phone call-in, which is ironic because at the time phones didn't need chargers.
The owner, like every other owner in the NFL, said, I've got an NFL team, how are we going to get the name? Let's put a call out to the local area. A ballot by post, I assume, saying, what should we call the team? The first letter that he opened said Chargers, and he went, that one, and didn't open a single other letter.
That's how I would have done it.
Here he is, Willie Cross.
Come on,
come in here. Come in here.
Don't try and sneak past like a little
Get
shadow.
in, late for work. Where are you going? Get in
He's
here
got
now.
no microphone, but that's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Willie Cross.
The original senior, Mr. Willie Cross.
Good morning.
There we go. Crazily, the original design had a horse and 2 lightning bolts on the side, and they kept that for the rest of the time. I mean, if you stumbled across powder blue Chargers with lightning bolts, you must, when they showed that uniform for the first time, they must have been like, yes! Like, look at what the other teams are wearing. Absolutely. Look what the Broncos are wearing. They're yelling mustard and chocolate.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
The Buffalo Bills, Ralph Wilson. Name of the stadium, Ralph Wilson. Name of the owner originally, Ralph Wilson. Solicited potential nicknames from fans, of course he did. Why wouldn't he?
Did these owners do any work themselves? They've literally got to think up a word. Like, I can't be bothered.
It's literally just, that is how you came up with stuff in the 1960s. It was like, we should ask the population. And you put out like a newspaper poll. Okay, so he solicited potential nicknames from fans and chose Bills over Nichols and Bison. Bills, a reference to the American frontiersman Buffalo Bill Cody. Buffalo's original AFL uniforms were silver and blue, styled after none other than the world-famous and amazingly successful Detroit Lions. In 1962, the Bills had a makeover, and they went more towards their classic blue uniforms that we see today.
And they wore the red helmet, didn't they?
Yes.
Cool red helmet with the buffalo on it.
In 1962, with the uniform change, because they couldn't be like, oh, we're going to be the Detroit Lions. Standing white buffalo with red helmets and white helmets, and it's absolutely clean. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2009 AFL merger, but now we venture into new pastures. We go to the 2007 Philadelphia Eagles, modelled here by Rodney Trotter.
Bad jersey. And by bad, I mean good.
Introduced for 1 game in 2007. They played 1 game in these monstrosities, and everybody knows them.
And you know, you mentioned that these uniforms look a little bit
different today for the Eagles, Dick, and it's because they date back to 1933. They look like the Swedish colors, and they are. Swedes settled the area. William Penn decided that the team that came here would wear these. Since then, obviously, they've changed them to green and white, but they're wearing them today to honor the 75th anniversary.
And Jennifer, they were the official colors of the city of Philadelphia, blue and yellow. Of course, later on, they went to green.
They look nice together.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do we disagree here on whether that is or isn't a good jersey? Because I think it's wicked.
Well, it's one of those ones where it's like, that's so not the Philadelphia Eagles. It's cool.
Yeah, they were referred to as the throw-ups of throwbacks when they were debuted on television. But I personally quite like them.
It was a throwback to their 1934 jerseys and in celebration of the Eagles' 75th year.
Also, it's the colour of the state flag of Philadelphia. Not a lot of people know that.
The Eagles played one game in this incredible, blinding uniform.
Yeah, this Ukrainian flag of a uniform.
And they crushed the Lions. They crushed them.
Play action on first down, and Nab is going deep. And there is Curtis, and he'll go in for the touchdown.
Brian Westbrook played incredibly and hated the jerseys. He ran for 110 yards and 111 receiving yards and combined for 3 of the 8 touchdowns the Eagles scored. And the thing he said after the game, they were like, Brian, how was the game? You played amazingly. He went, I hate the jerseys.
I would say right there that it is over the plane.
That's because he knows all his best highlights he's going to have to be wearing the jersey he hates the most.
It's up in his living room and he's just like, God, I hate that jersey. Pittsburgh Steelers, you're not exempt. You knew you'd be here, and here you are. The Bumblebee. These are the 75th anniversary jerseys. You've got the Bumblebee from 2012 to 2016 where they played incredibly well in them. They just beat everyone when they wore those.
They held 2 teams to single digits both times they wore them, I think.
And you've got your weird sort of car park attendant jerseys that they wore in 1994 for the 75th anniversary of the league. Chicago Bears, 1994, the ugliest jersey of all time. I'm saying that. Sorry, Denver Broncos. This is the Decatur Staley's throwback to commemorate the league's 75th anniversary. This is the ugly. I don't know what they were thinking. You think mustard and chocolate's bad? How about mustard and blueberry?
Yeah, it is a shocker.
Interestingly, the long blue stripes on it, on the original uniforms, were a different kind of canvas material to help the players hold onto the ball. If you're ever having like biscuit-coloured shorts, it's never going to work. Talking of biscuit-coloured shorts, the Green Bay Packers, last on the list. I quite like these. You want to get Greg Jennings out?
I do like these.
This is one of my favourite ones. This is the 2010-2011 throwback with the circle in the middle. Greg Jennings.
Broke his fucking leg. How is he running with a broken leg? Dog, let's go inside the mind of a Greg Jennings. My leg broke. I don't know how the fuck I'm running right now, though. Oh shit, Darren Sharper. One of the most hardest hitting safeties in the league. You can't stop me. Touchdown. Greg Jennings.
That's one of my favourites of the Green Bay Packers throwbacks. They wore that from 2010 to 2011, but there was a whole thing with helmets. Yeah, in 2013, the NFL instituted their policy, which pretty much ended all throwbacks ever. That's why the Bucs can't wear their
until next
creamsicles.
year.
Until next year, and then it's throwback-a-palooza, baby. Cancel this season. Let's wait for the next season. So yeah, you've got this. Kirk Cousins, nice of you to show up.
Nothing in this league is free.
You've got this, 2010, 2011. 1994, you've got the yellow shoulders and the blue.
Love it.
And the crazy thing about that is Aaron Rodgers just looks like he did at Cal. It looks exactly the same jersey. Well, there we go. That was Anniversary Throwbacks. Had to be a quick one this week. The emergency broadcast, number 18. And that's the last one we're ever going to do. That's it.
See you later.
That's the end of the emergency broadcast, the last one ever. Sorry,
Bye.
what they're going to do next week. Not the emergency broadcast. Maybe something else, but not the emergency broadcast. Sorry, lads. Switch it off. Done. See ya. It's the emergency broadcast. Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
Ah! Don't say. He's essentially one big right leg sewn onto the rest of the man. Left leg. Why am I here?
Who's that better than you?
That's better than Khalil Mack. During his final years, Mims was unable to take care of himself, and he lives on. For fuck's sake.
Philadelphia Eagles select Roderick Bunkley, defensive tackle.
Where is Rice? Write in. Answers on a postcard. Where is Rice University? Doug Miller. He was struck by lightning twice.
Wow, bro.
I think it's one of those little big horns that wraps around you. Because I've got a great way to play us out.
Oh, have you got a salsaphone?
Yeah.